One listeners, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Quick weather, Jess, please.
Good morning. It's going to be cloudy with rain in the morning and more showers later on in the day. Highs in the mid-60s.
All right, so it was breaking news, I believe, yesterday. ESPN moved on from Robert Griffin III as part of their Monday Night Football coverage team, and they welcomed Jason Kelce.
Wow.
So, look, Jason Kelce is going to be great, but I also really like RG3. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Where's he going?
I mean, RG3 still does the college. He does college football on Saturdays, and he's a great personality. You know, I think RG3 is great for TV. Any network would want to have RG3, in my opinion. And he's great, but they ended up moving on from him. I guess because they paid him. They probably both are getting monster money. So they ended up.
Can't pay both.
Yeah. If you're going to get Jason Kelce, you got to, like, cut somewhere.
Yep.
But, yeah, Adam Schefter reported ESPN officially signed former Eagles standout Jason Kelce in a multi-year deal. Kelce will join the Monday Night Countdown leading into Monday Night Football, then appear again at halftime. He'll be part of the ESPN and ABC coverage of the Super Bowl in L.A. in 2027 as well.
Oh, that's huge.
I mean, ESPN is doing it. You know, they got Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. They brought them over for Monday Night Football. They have the Mannings. You know, they do on ESPN2. Now they got Jason Kelce. But again, who knows where Robert Griffin III is going to go. We'll see. And then also I saw that Tom Brady is joining the broadcast team for Fox.
Oh, he's finally going to be on.
So that's going to be something. And who's the guy who supposedly he's replacing? I can see him right now. Blonde hair. Anyway, he's good.
But Tom Brady's going to
And a lot of people were saying he was going to replace him as the number one in the broadcast booth, and it wasn't right because of how good the guy was. But that's just another.
But it's just his name.
And it's just Brady.
It's just Tom Brady, yeah.
You know? So. But they'll all be good. They'll all be good. Let's see. 344 checking in. I'm still running, rain or shine. Oh, you're talking about, the rain outside. Yeah, you're still going out having a run. That's good.
No matter what.
339. Greg Olsen. Yes, thank you. Tom Brady's going to be replacing Greg Olsen. Who's good. But I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. 8:29. We go live to the hotline. We have Jill Friedel from atTAcK Addictions. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Jill.
Good morning from rainy Newcastle County.
Yes. Yeah, we were just talking about the rain. Of course, it continues.
It sure does.
Well, look, welcome to the show. We appreciate it. atTAcK Addiction. For people who, have never heard of you guys, talk to us a little bit about, who you guys are and what you do.
Thank you for having us. We're an 11-year-old nonprofit statewide, and our goal is to reduce the impact of the opioid epidemic in our state by connecting people to the resources and services they need, whether they're individuals in active use or family members who are concerned about them. It's educating people about substance use disorder, that it's a disease, and it's raising the awareness of addiction so we can reduce the stigma. There's still, even though we have reduced the stigma across the state and across the country, there are still people who are ashamed or embarrassed when they have a loved one who's suffering from substance use disorders. So we want to bring that down even more. It's no different than breaking a leg or having a chronic disease. We want people to get the care they need.
Talk to us a little bit about Delaware specifically. Is there a rise in addiction problems? What's the status of Delaware in 2024?
Well, in 2023, we saw a slight reduction in the overdose deaths. We actually went from 537 deaths in 2022 to 527, so a little less than 2% decrease. And I think Delaware is the only state that saw a decrease in deaths.
Oh, that's good.
So that's one step forward. Unfortunately, we have seen in just the last few weeks, especially in Kent and Sussex counties, that we are seeing more overdoses, and it's from a concoction of substances that are just horrific to see put together. Things like a benzo and xylazine and fentanyl and caffeine. It's as if the drug dealers have to come up with something worse and worse and worse to put in to supply to people to use. So it's just been awful, and we've seen more than 100 total overdoses in Kent and Sussex counties, and I think the last number I saw, unfortunately, was 6 deaths.
Wow.
So that feels like one step back is to have something like that kind of surge in Kent and Sussex counties, and we're afraid it's going to come to Newcastle County as well.
Well, why do you think that is? Like, what's going on?
I think it's an evolution, Bill. I think if you look back to the beginning when atTAcK Addiction was founded, and we first started to see the surge of overdoses and overdose deaths in Delaware and across the country, that was mainly due to heroin. Then we kind of graduated to fentanyl. We've seen other substances and we've seen the arrival of xylazine. When we very first started, it was actually in pain pills, in oxycodone. If you remember that, we used to have pill mills. So we see an evolution every few years, and this hopefully is not an evolution. I hope we're not going to go to this combination of substances, but I think it's dealers trying to provide something different to people. The underlying issue is that someone has a substance use disorder. That's a disease, and that's why it's so important to get people into treatment. And that's where our new campaign comes in. It's called We've Got You.
Okay.
We want people to know there's a place for them to go. There is help to be provided, and don't feel like no one cares about you, or no one is listening, or no one will help, because we will help.
Mm-hmm. Talk to us a little bit about the free Narcan kits that people can get.
Absolutely. That all praise to the state of Delaware. They have made it very easy to get Narcan kits across our state. atTAcK Addiction is a provider of Narcan kits. I've seen recently with the surge in Sussex County that BB Healthcare Center has been going out with a mobile unit to provide free kits to people, especially in those zip codes, those areas that have been impacted. atTAcK Addiction, one of our priorities is we will go out and do free Narcan training, and we will provide free kits to anyone, whether it's 2 people or 200 people. All people have to do is give us a call. Our number is 302-365-5221. And we think Narcan training is as important as getting CPR training. I just took CPR training a couple weeks ago, and it's a skill that people should have, and everyone should carry a Narcan kit. We don't know when we might come across somebody who has overdosed, whether they're slumped in their car or they're in the bathroom at a restaurant or outside a shopping center. We could come across them, and it's just important that we have that skill and that tool to be able to revive someone and save their life.
What's the Good Samaritan law?
Yeah, that is, Bill, thank you for asking about that. That is really critically important. atTAcK Addiction was one of the driving forces behind this law in Delaware. It was adopted in 2013, and it says anyone who sees an overdose, maybe they're with a group of friends and someone overdoses, that person who calls 911 and the person in medical distress, the law says, cannot be arrested, charged, or prosecuted for a low-level drug crime.
Okay, so basically, like if there's a group of people together doing some illegal things, if someone overdoses, they call the police. They don't have to run. Because they're trying to save somebody's life. They don't have to worry about them having the drugs in the place or just being in their system. What is that?
Yeah, Bill, you have it exactly right. The most important thing is to save a life. If someone is in medical distress, we have to get first responders there and save that person's life. And we don't want people to think they're going to get in trouble. They're going to find drugs on me. I was doing drugs with that person. I'm going to get into trouble. No, you're not going to get in trouble. The most important thing is to call 911. Get some people there who can help the individual who's in distress. And the good thing about this law, in addition to overdoses, it also applies to underage drinking. And I think we can all go back in our lives and think about underage drinking.
Yeah.
We probably all did it. And it's probably,
right.
And some of us, some people did it to excess, and you've seen people pass out. And the idea is, again, call 911. You're afraid you're going to get in trouble. You lose your scholarship. I'm going to have to get arrested. And the the law is very simple. The person who calls and the person in medical distress can't be arrested.
So obviously, you know, I mean, we don't condone underage drinking, but let's just be realists here. You know, you got a couple 19, 20-year-olds are at a party. They're drinking. Someone gets some alcohol poisoning or whatever. Something happens. They call the cops, but they're all scared to death. They're all going to get citations or they're going to get in trouble. But with this Good Samaritan law, they don't have to worry about that. That's not going to happen. It's all about saving the person. You know, now unless nobody's passing out and they just get the party busted, that's a different story.
That's a completely different story. That's why it's called the 911 Good Samaritan law.
Right.
When someone's in medical trouble,
right,
they need help immediately.
Yeah.
And the law originated. There's a gentleman in atTAcK Addiction. His name is Dave Humes, and Dave's son had relapsed. I think he was using heroin, and he was out with some buddies and relapsed. They drove him in his car to a hospital and left him there. They didn't tell anybody at the hospital. They didn't honk the horn. They didn't call 911 and say, hey, look, call the hospital and say, look outside, there's a guy in a car. They just left him, and he died outside that hospital in the car. And that was the whole idea. Call 911, even if you want to run away, and just say, hey, there's a guy slumped over in the car. You need to pay attention to him right now. He needs help. Mm-hmm. And the idea is we want people to call 911 and get that help.
Wow. Again, Jill from atTAcK Addiction, you guys do great work. If people want more information on everything you guys do, how can they look you guys up?
Let me give you 3 numbers, Bill. I think it's really important. One, if someone they need to get connected to treatment or anything that we've talked about today, they can call the Delaware Helpline. That's 24/7 number. That number is 833-946-7333. And then I would also advise people to go to helpishere.de.com. Some people are more comfortable looking at stuff online, and they can connect to services that way. And lastly, we would love if they call atTAcK Addiction. We are a staff. We have real people, and we will respond to whatever your need is, whether you need Narcan training or you have a loved one who needs to get connected to treatment, or you just want to talk about, is it too soon to talk to my 8-year-old about the dangers of drug use? No, it's not. You should. But whatever your question is, we are happy to help you with those answers. And you can call atTAcK Addiction at 302-365-5221.
All right, very good. Jill Friedel, atTAcK Addiction, right out of Delaware. Again, you guys do great work. We appreciate everything you guys do, and thank you so much for educating us a little bit this morning. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you for having us, Bill and Jessica. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.